Good afternoon, I'm Brian Poe from Poe's Kitchen at the Rattlesnake. Today we're going to make a fun little dish. It's a prosciutto-wrapped tuna stuffed with queso fresco and basil. We season it with a little Poco Loco seasoning. We do a nice Anaheim chili and corn puree. So what we're going to do first here is we're going to start with some grilled corn. And we've already shucked the corn off here, so it's ready to throw right on the grill. We'll place it right here. And we're just going to take a little butter and brush that because you want to get a nice char on it. And then we're going to season it with a little salt and pepper on each side as we go. And we're going to let that grill for a few minutes until it gets good and charred. So that only took about 5 minutes, so we've got a nice char on there. And then we're going to go ahead and pull those off, place them on our cutting board, and get ready to make the Anaheim chili corn puree. We're going to take those and we're going to hold them up here. We're going to go ahead and clean off all the kernels. You're going for about 2 cups of corn on each of these. You get right down to the very edge of it. Take everything off. Alright, so now we've got all our corn cleaned off the cobs here. And we're going to save the cobs because what we're after here is a very intense corn stock flavor. So you're going to bring all the flavors out of it. You're going to take it, you want to make sure that you got good flat sides on it. And you're just going to cut through there and be careful. It's a little tough as you go through. You're going to go ahead and cut those down. Nice little pieces there. And there we go. So we're going to take a nice hot pan and we'll start down through making preparations for the sauce. We like to play with some infused oils here. So what I've done is these are actually hatch New Mexican chilies that we've infused into some nice Chilean olive oil. So we're going to take that and get it poured across the base of the pan. Again, it's going to be nice and hot. And then we're going to take our cobs there. And we're going to take about 2 cups of the corn that came off the 4 cobs. Let that go. And then we're going to take our Anaheim chili and jalapeno. I'm going to put that in there. And then we're just going to let that kind of sweat out a little bit. You can add a little bit of oil as you go just to make sure we're getting the full flavors out of it. And we'll just kind of keep that moving around. You want to let that go about 5-10 minutes so you get the good brown on your peppers and you pull all that flavor out of the cobs and the corn as well. So as we let that cook for a little while. And right at the very end, this is an important part of it, you want to make sure that when you go for your garlic and shallots, you hold those until that last second so that you just get the browning of the garlic on there. And a little bit of the shallots. And then we'll go ahead and give that another turn. Alright, so what we've done is we've allowed that to sweat a little bit and get all the good juices and everything out of it. We're going to add a little bit of salt to that. And then we're going to add a little bit of pepper. And then we're going to give it one more sort of spin around and get all the juices mixed. And then we're going to take a couple of cups of water here. And we're going to add that in. So what will happen with that, you'll just get enough water to cover it. And what you're after there is to get that good concentrate, everything off the base of the pan and everything, all the good corn flavors and chili flavors to get going there. So we're going to allow that to boil and reduce a little bit, and then we'll add some heavy cream to it. Alright, so we've allowed this to reduce for about 10 minutes, and we've got a nice smelling corn and chili reduction. What we're going to do now is we're going to add some cream to it. You just want to get a nice amount just to kind of cover it and allow it to kind of make a little richer flavor and a little smoother. Okay, so we're going to allow that cream to kind of reduce in there and get the richness of flavor. And then we're going to take it off the heat there, and we're going to puree it in a blender. Okay, now we have one of my favorite little seasonings. It's called Poco Loco seasoning. What we do, it's a few little spices here that make for a nice little sort of southwestern sort of Mexican flavor to it. We're going to take a couple of tablespoons of garlic powder. We take a little bit of white pepper. Then we're going to take some paprika, some dried oregano, and a little bit of ground coriander, and then a little cayenne, and then a little bit of cumin. So we take all these dry spices and mix them together, get them nice and mixed up. One easy way for people to do this at home so you can kind of keep it around for a bit is to put it in a nice sort of gallon Ziploc bag and give it a good shake, and then you've got your seasoning always at hand. Works out for everything from the tuna that we're about to do to a nice burger seasoning and different things like that. So now we're ready to assemble the tuna. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and assemble our tuna. It's very simple. What we've done is we're gonna make 4, because that's about what we're going to skewer on there. We've gone ahead and we've cut 1-ounce pieces of tuna there. We're going to line those up into our prosciutto, and then fun part, we're going to take a little Queso Fresco. We're going to stack that right on top, and then we'll take nice little basil leaves and we'll lay that in here. And then we're just going to take those and we're going to roll those right up. So we've got nice paper thin cuts of prosciutto, and we're going to go ahead and put a skewer through that. The prosciutto is going to give it a nice salty flavor. The creaminess of the cheese and then the freshness of the basil is all going to come together with that nice flavor of the corn. We also took our corn, we went ahead and pureed that, and now we strained it, and we've got a nice smooth corn sauce there. So this is sort of a 2-pan process that can happen very quickly. If you have 2 hot pans, start with the first one here. We'll take a little bit of our chili-infused oil again. I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to take a little plate here, and we're going to take some of our Poco Loco seasoning. I'm going to sprinkle that down. So basically what you're after is kind of a blackening effect. And we'll take the tuna and get that good and covered on all sides. And then we're going to take a little more just to make sure that everything's covered. And it's going to give a nice spicy flair to it. We'll shake that off a little, and then we're going to go ahead and put that into the pan and start that searing. And at the same time, we're going to take a little more cream, and we're going to put that in the pan. The reason we want this pan nice and hot is so you don't wait around for the cream to reduce. You get it good and hot, and you hit it in there, and you see how quickly it starts to reduce for you. Then we'll take a few spoonfuls of the corn puree and add it to that and let it reduce a touch. So just a nice simple stir of the pan, and your sauce is completely ready and reduced. So we're going to hold that here for a moment, hold this in, and you just want to give this a couple of, if the pan's good and hot, you want to give that just a few seconds on each side. You still want it to be nice and rare inside when it's done, but you want just enough heat to go where it's going to be, where the cheese just starts to melt. So now we're going to turn it on the side, and you can see that prosciutto crisping up just a little bit there. So we're going to take a little salt and pepper to it, and that gets it right to the tuna side. You've already got your salt going on your prosciutto side, so it gets it right directly on your fresh ingredients there. And then we're going to turn that one more time. Some cheese and things will fall out, but it's going to be okay. Get it seared good all the way through. And now we're going to get ready to plate it up. Just take the corn puree there, and you're going to put that right down to the center of the plate. Then we're going to go ahead and pull the tuna off, and we're going to set that on our cutting board. And now, if we're good, we can slide each one off, sort of lay it on the plate. And it's a nice presentation. You can do this for the full recipe. You can have a nice little appetizer start, because you want that, what you want is it to get good and crisp on the outside, and then even at room temperature it still tastes good. So a little bit of garnishing oil, run that down the sides a little green oil to it, and then we'll take just a touch of our Poco Loco seasoning, and you can take a little fresh basil and kind of season that around, and there you go. You have a fun little appetizer, the Prosciutto-Wrapped tuna with the Anaheim chili and corn puree.